Today is Tuesday, November 7th. It's 10:18 p.m. um, I haven't really done one of these in a while, but today I have a good reason to do it. Because I've done a lot since I've given a real update, I guess. Uh, let's see. I haven't watched like my last video to see where my last update was. So I don't work at the farm anymore. I've been only working at Starbucks for a couple months now. The farm just wasn't working out, and the company had no money. And although I was meeting my quota, it wasn't enough to keep me employed. So I lost my job. So I've been working Starbucks, and I ended up, when I lost that job, I was so angry and I was so stressed because I needed the money, that I picked up weed again, and I was I thought it was the answer. I really thought that it was the answer, and I thought I could do it like reasonably, if that's the word. And I couldn't because I'm an addict, and I ended up going from, I'm just gonna smoke a bowl, to then I'm just gonna smoke a blunt, and then I was smoking blunts every day again, and that's not as bad as the worst I've gone, of course, but it's still a blunt every day. When you're living in someone's basement, you don't have the money to smoke a blunt every day. You don't have the money to smoke weed at all, and yet I did. So I had gone to NA, like an NA meeting, way back, a few months back, because I met someone that day. They really had a big impression. I really had a great impression of them, and I asked them, on our first date, like, so do you smoke? Do you drink or anything? And they said, actually, I'm coming up on 5 years clean. I didn't really understand what that meant. Like, I mean, I knew what that meant, but like, I didn't understand the depth of that, and like what it takes to get to that point. But they said that the reason they couldn't hang out later that night was because they were going to a meeting. And I was like, well, what if I went with you? Because I want to be supportive, and also I wanted to seem like a better person than who I really was at the time. And so I went. It was a lot different than what I thought. And people go to the meetings and they don't always speak for the first meeting they go to, but I did. And I shared about, having to move out of my house, because I came out as trans and I had to move out. And nowadays I don't say that in meetings. I just don't say that in meetings. But I went to that one, and then maybe like a month later, maybe I went to another one, and then I went to another one, and like the first one I went with that person, we ended up dating. It didn't really work out, but the other ones I was just going for like a little bit for myself, and then I stopped going, and that's when a little bit after that I lost my job, and that's when I started smoking again. And then I started going to these meetings again because I needed to. Blatantly, I needed to. And so I went back, and I ended up getting a sponsor, because in NA, if you're going to really work the program, it calls for getting a sponsor. And I didn't want to get a sponsor because that's... I wasn't an addict. I'm not an addict, you know? Like, I didn't want to get it. And then eventually I got one. I went to a meeting, and there's a person sitting, and they immediately, before even speaking, they resonated with me. And I knew that was God working. Like, that was God working for me. And then they spoke, and it was beautiful. It was, what they had to say showed that they have a perfect harmony of tough love and gentle compassion, and it was exactly what I needed. And so I went to a few more meetings, and then I saw them again, and I ended up accepting that I do need a sponsor, because at that point, when I first met them, I was asking around for a sponsor. My first thing was, I need someone who's a hard ass. So I asked them to be my sponsor, and they said yes. And so here I am, going to NA meetings almost daily. No, literally daily. And I have a sponsor, and I'm working the program, and I'm about to do some of my step work after this for my first step. And today I officially have 7 days clean, which isn't long, but it's long. From every time I say that to people, you know, they say the first 7 days are the hardest, or, you know, when I was at 5 days, the first 5 days are the hardest, and I did it. I made it to 7 days. I made it to 7 days, and that was just because I drank on Halloween, but I didn't do it excessively, but I was using something, and, you know, poison's poison. I mean, I smoke cigarettes, but, like, you can smoke as many cigarettes as you want, but you can't be too, you know, high off cigarettes to drive or exist and stuff. So, like, officially today I have 7 days, and every day, like, for these past 7 days, I've learned these lessons every day, and there's always been a topic for every single day, very different from every other one. Whether it's one day it was about honesty. I woke up and I called my sponsor because he has me call him every day, and then I was thinking about honesty. I called him. He started talking about honesty, and then for the rest of the day I was meditating on honesty. And then I went to a meeting that night, and the person who was leading the meeting spoke about honesty. You know, and then humility was another one. Forgiveness was another one. And today was wild because I woke up and I did something that I haven't done in years, and it was really surreal because I prayed. I prayed. Before I even called my sponsor, which I like to do first thing every morning, I prayed. I got down on my hands and knees, and I humbled myself to the universe. I was talking to God, and I felt listened to. And one of my things with God is that I couldn't connect to God because God, the word God means God. You know, like, the word sweetheart for your significant other means that they have a sweetheart. You know, you have, like, if you call your significant other honey, it's because they're sweet like honey. They treat you so sweetly that they're like honey. And I needed another name for God. And in NA, they don't say God, they say higher power. And I thought about it, and it's like, I can get as high as I want to, but God's still higher than I am. Like, it's corny, but like, that's the fact of the matter. And the word power speaks for itself, and those two words coming together is like, that's my pet name for God now. I just like to call him my higher power, because that's who God is. And he's been working through me today to try and feel peace. I feel like today was kind of about peace. It was about him truly coming back into my life, but it was really about peace. And today, my sponsor was leading a meeting about an hour and a half away. He asked me to join him with one of my sponsee brothers, and so the two of us go, and on the way back, we were driving, and we drove through the exact spot where Gabby died. That was the first time since Gabby's died that I've been able to be at that place and not even realize it, because I was at peace. We were driving, just talking. I didn't know what road we were on, and then I realized, like, once we got back to town, I was like, oh my god, is this Route 28? And my sponsor was driving and was like, yeah? And I was like, holy shit. I was like, why, what's up? And I told them both the significance of Gabby in my life. And I just felt peace. I just feel peace. And I haven't felt that. I haven't felt that since she passed, since I've moved out, since I've been living in a basement, since I've been doing crazy things for money, since I caught a pot charge, since anything. I haven't felt peace. And I felt it today. Like, real serenity is a part of me now. And it doesn't matter about the future, whether it's near or far future. Right now, I feel peace. And because of that, and because of everything I've gone through, and I can still feel peace, I know that no matter what happens, I can still feel peace. And it's amazing. And I just feel peace. I don't feel anything other than peace right now. And I feel like my higher power is actually present again. And I know I can do this. I know that I can live clean. I mean, I have my case is still open for that charge, and I go back to court in a few months, and I'll probably get probation, and it's okay because I know I can make it through the end of my probation, and the time after too. But I know I can make it to that time because I have that peace, and I understand honesty, and I understand these lessons I've learned in the past week. These lessons that I've been craving. I have them. I've been really scared about a lot of things. I've been holding all these reservations, and it's been masked as fear. Like, I've been scared about not being able to get a second vial of hormones, and I've been scared about court, and I've been scared about where I'm going to live in the next, few weeks, and it's all coming together now. I'm going to be getting my hormones, before my next shot, and I have a place to live again. Like, the people I live with now, they don't mind me. They love me. I know they love me. But I told them I'd only be there for a month, and I'm looking at 4 months. And I don't want to get them into a position where they're making themselves accept me. Because that's not what acceptance is about. And the next place I'm staying with is actually one of my friends I've met through NA, and they're also trans, and they're like their whole home is accepting, and I'll have a place to stay where, you know, it's gonna be the community, like the NA fellowship is gonna be where I live, and the trans community is gonna be where I live. It's not gonna just be me. And I'm getting more and more ready for the rest of my life every day. Yesterday I had a customer come in to Starbucks. A few months back she came in with a card. She said, "Samson, I want to give this to you." I open up the card and it's a handwritten note saying, like, you know, keep on keeping on and keep up the good work. Like, you're doing great, life's okay. You know, and this person doesn't know anything personal about my life. But then inside that card was another card. It was a handwritten note talking about I'm the one reason that they come to my store. And like, there's a store that's closer to their house, but they come to my store because of me. And then attached to that, and that's enough for me, but attached to that was, I mean, that's more than enough for me, but attached to that was a $10 gift card to Cold Stone and a $25 gift card to, like, a Visa gift card. So fast forward to yesterday, like months later, customer comes in the morning, gets a drink, I make it for them. I say, "I'm sorry, I can't really talk right now, I'm just really busy, but it's so great to see you." And she comes in a few hours later with a gift bag, and in the gift bag is this coffee mug that had a very inspiring Thoreau quote about, you know, like, kind of like, go confident in your journey and live your dreams, live the life that you can. And then inside that mug were 3 gift cards to Giant for $10 each, and another $25 gift card, which is exactly what I needed. Like, real food. Like, real food. And on Saturday, the lesson was honesty, and I was talking to my mom about how I want to earn her honesty back because I lost it when I was 6. The first time I lied to her on my sister's birthday, I spoiled her surprise, and my mom immediately knew I was lying because I was a kid, and she hasn't trusted me since. It's been pretty obvious. Rightfully so. I mean, I was using under her roof, and I was, you know, living a bad lifestyle under her roof. So she shouldn't have trusted me. But on Saturday, she told me, she literally said to me, "I'm starting to trust you and believe you, and I can see your honesty exists." I don't really have anything that I was going to follow up with all of that, other than I was so judgmental of NA before I started, and even somewhat into it. But NA is absolutely the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I hope that if anyone watches this, please, if you think that you have an addiction to anything, Just go to a meeting. Go to one meeting. Because it changed my life. It 180'd my life. I'm sure it can 180 yours. I'm 7 days clean today. And next Tuesday, I'll be 5 months on hormones. And 6 days after that, I'll be 6 months out of the closet. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. They have this saying in NA. They always say, keep coming back. That's the easiest suggestion to follow that I've ever heard. I feel like there's beauty in the universe, and I'm a part of the universe, and there's beauty in me. And I'm excited to see. I'm only on step 1. There are 12 steps. And I can feel myself improving in so many ways. What is it going to be like on the 8th step? The 8th step is about making amends to people. That's the 8th step. So what is it going to be like when I'm on the 12th step? I mean, first of all, I need to get to the 2nd step and then get to, all the ones in between, get to the 12th. But I wonder what's in store for me. I can do this. I can do this. That's all I got. Thanks for letting me share.